Alright, welcome to my channel. This is Lock Chuck. What I am working on today is this Rosengrens 32A81 Sweden made disc detainer lock. This is for, I believe, for safety deposit boxes. There is the interesting key. That's how it looks looking on the end for the keyway. Like any disc detainer, you have to turn it 90 before it'll engage the sidebar if it's got it correct, and then you get the rest of the turn. So let's see if we can get this picked. I'm going to use a pick I made based off of Chris Pick's design. So like that. Get the core turned 90 before I insert the tool. And get it around. Just try to get it where maybe you can see what I'm looking at here. And we'll grab something just to put over this, because those are some sharp corners and start digging into my hands. All right, I'm gonna get the pick in there, reset the lock, make sure I didn't move anything, and try to pick each disc. Okay, slight movement on disc 1. And unlike other disc detainers, I can't move back and forth the disc. I have to get on either side of it right now to get it picked. Okay, so a pretty good click there. Okay, it's binding hard right there, so we'll leave that. Okay, that one bound pretty hard right there. Just testing the other side and make sure it doesn't move. Click there and a little movement on the core. That's a pretty good sign. Another click. Okay, I'm not sure if because further I get away from center, the tip flexes sometimes. So I'm not exactly sure if I got that one rotated all the way. So I can get behind it and push it back. Okay, I still feel like I'm on it or something. Not meeting any resistance with it going. So it starts slipping off. So I'm gonna go around the other side of the lock where I can get a little bit better purchase on some of the further turn ones and higher up one. Okay. Feels like it's good because the core is actually binding, trying to come backwards. So that tells me I believe I am really, really close to getting it open. I just got to figure out who is not. Well, it loosened up then. Push that back. There we go. Just had to bump that one disc and we're open. So I'll show you that the tailpiece is moving. So I do have the open. All right, I'm gonna lock it back, just forgetting. Okay, lock it back, pull my pick out, and let's get this gutted. Okay, I'm gonna use this towel because I don't have really a tray for it, and plus this will help keep some of the dust because this thing, the tolerances on it, I think are so tight that any kind of little particles kind of. So this one is kind of backwards, so I'm gonna gut. Oh, it is backwards as far as the gutting goes. So we're gonna be gutting it from the back. So I'm gonna start here and go. Pull this up a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the sidebar out. Sidebar is, I believe, rectangle. Where is a pick for that? Okay, pair of tweezers. So it is a rectangle sidebar. There it is. And that actually ties to the actual part of the actuator that actually turns the actuator. It sits in here like this. So sidebar is what actually turns the actuator because there's no other sleeve or anything that's turning. So next we have the back plate. I guess you could call it part of the disc controller, and a spacer. And we have another, it's going to be pretty much spacer, disc, and that is what the discs look like. It is not completely symmetrical, as you can maybe see here. Like this side, it has a bigger point. This side has smaller point here. And I think you can see a little bit of difference in some of the dimensions of the cuts. So it's not completely symmetrical. There are the false gates, and there is the one true gate on that disc. So okay, and that's the whole lock. You can see the groove for the sidebar is here, and it's able to turn almost, I guess it's 180 degrees. So, but it's limited by this disc. This is how far it can actually travel. And let's see, get the rest of the discs off. There's a spacer. There's the front disc. There's another limiter at the front, and that's another spacer, and I guess you call it part of the disc controller. And it also, the front and the back one, they're pretty well identical, and they have the reset bars here. Once you start turning it back, these push it out to lock the sidebar back into place. So it pushes the sidebar back and relocks the lock, And there's the triangle, I guess, keyway and actuator. Part, or not actuator, but the part of the keyway that actually turns and resets the discs. So, but alrighty, that's it. Like I said, this is the 32A81. This one doesn't have the S on it, but since it does have this, well, I don't think it said about S, but since it has the triangle shaped bars, this is the black belt version of this lock. So, all right, thanks for watching. I'm back again. I just wanted to kind of give you a bird's eye view. So this is, I'm going to show you, I'm using the camera here, and I'm kind of hopefully picture in picture what's going on. So I'm going to insert the key. You can kind of see the discs there, on hopefully on your screen, left and right. Yeah, there's key going in, and you can see the disc right there moving at different rates, because it depends on when they hit the bitting. The key is when they'll start to turn, and then the lock will unlock. Okay, so that's kind of a inside look at the lock. And then while I am picking, what's going on is, I'm just going to turn this real quick 90 degrees. So you should see my picking tip going in. So I'm going to get it in place. I'm going to get my tensioner in. And this is where I'm kind of moving everything around, make sure I don't have any discs out of place before I begin. And now I'm going to slide my picking tip all the way to the back, and I'm going to apply tension. So let me see, can I adjust? So maybe let me hold my hand right there. Sorry for the shaking. So what I'm going to do is there's the first disc. So what I've got to do is that disc is up against this plate, so I can't go between the plate and the disc. So I have to move up, go between the two discs, and I still can't get behind it. So I have to counter rotate just a little bit to get those triangular bars out of the way. Then I can slip onto the disc. If I can, easier said than done. So once I'm on the disc, I reapply the tension, and it bound right there. So it was in the gate. Make sure. I think I slipped off the disc. All right. Okay, it's back. And right there, I felt the tensor actually move. And you actually see it moving on the other side of the screen. So I'm going to do the same thing real quick. I'm not going to go through the whole lock. I'm just showing you what it takes to get this picked. So now I feel like I'm on that disc. And right there, I don't know, I may have gone past. So what I can do is go past to it and just give it a little nudge back, and it stops. So it kind of sounds like it fell in the gate there, and I just keep repeating. I'll have to go back. So I got to get behind third disc. Okay, once I'm behind it, reapply the tension, and there. You heard it. Hopefully heard that click into a gate. I'll go to the next one. See right there, I think it's a false gate. And I'll loosen up on the tension. It'll go to another false gate right about there. And then I'll loosen up again and reapply after it comes out. And hopefully right there it dropped into a false, or the true gate. And if I go past and kind of get a little nudge back, it should move just a little bit. Yep, that's kind of the telltale sign that you're in a gate, a true gate, because you can get a wiggle versus, let me see if I can get it to go back into a false gate. Right there's a false gate. If you kind of look, it moved a little bit, but make sure I got enough tension on it. Doesn't move very much, but it moves a little less than when it is in the true gate. So, oops. Loosen up my tension. Push it over. Okay. I think I'm back into true gate. Go back. And see how much more that moved, I believe. I could tell it, but see how much more wiggle room it has versus a true and a false gate. But that is how the inside looks, and there's eight discs in here, and that's how you pick it. And what I was saying, when I get further into the back here, this the tip wants to kind of bend off of these, and it doesn't stay on it real well. So what I can do is, while I'm picking, is I can push up. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's see, or pull out. Then I go over that top control thing, and then I can drop back onto this other side here. And this other side, as you can see, when I see how much more there is. That's why I say they're not really symmetrical as far as this goes. I mean, I've got a lot more picking tip because I can't even get under this side of the locks because they're so much higher. But if one is pushed like, let's see, like this one, I can get behind it because of all the little step downs for the keys, and I can actually give it a push even more than I can if it was on the other side. So anyway, that's how the insides look while you're picking. You just kind of, you got to feel for the gates and practice and figure out where the gates are, and that's it. All right, thanks for watching.